are the Dragons. 5 multimillionaire investors on their way to the den. There, over the next 8 weeks, they'll once again make or break the business dreams of dozens of budding entrepreneurs.
If I was working with you, you would drive me mad.
Get out of here! Go away!
I hope it doesn't take off. I hope people don't buy it.
I'm going to offer you £75,000.
The Dragons know how to succeed. 5 of Britain's most enterprising and wealthy business people, they built up their fortunes from scratch. James Caan made his millions creating a global business in the recruitment industry. He now heads an international private equity firm. Glaswegian entrepreneur Duncan Bannatyne's £310 million business empire includes hotels, casinos and health clubs. Deborah Meaden earned her fortune in the holiday and leisure industry in the West Country. Theo Paphitis is a retail magnate who's transformed the fortunes of high street brands like Ryman, La Senza, Partners and Contessa. Peter Jones has built up a multi-million-pound empire with a business portfolio that ranges from telecom and leisure to property and media. In the den, the Dragons are ready to back the right businesses with their own money. But tonight, will anyone convince them to invest? Welcome back to the Dragon's Den. Once again, nervous entrepreneurs have gathered here for the chance to pitch their business ideas and inventions to our multimillionaire investors. Each entrepreneur is convinced they have what it takes to make millions with the right backing. The Dragons are ready to invest their own cash, but for them the risk is high, so only the best ideas will be successful. First to face the Dragons is Samantha Gore from Manchester. If she gets the £275,000 she requires, it'll be the highest ever investment in the history of the den.
Hello, my name's Samantha Gore. My company is Saboteur Crime Prevention. I'm seizing the moment and I'm here today to pitch for £275,000 for 10% of my company. My company are all highly technical electronic devices that I've invented myself and then got through prototyping. I've got 5 products potentially ready for October and numerous products that could be ready over the next couple of years. I started inventing them because... Sorry, the adrenaline's kicked in a little bit. I started inventing them because I was subject to a series of thefts. They fall into 3 basic categories. There's a series of location devices which will help retrieve the goods once they're stolen, a series of debilitators which will deactivate the goods if they're not held by the proper owner, and a simple range which is the occupancy simulators. I will illustrate. These are the really simple products that are ready to go, can go on any shelf, be sold on the internet. And right, I will start. If you would like to guess what it is. Now, there's 2, right. It's an occupancy simulator. It's quite difficult to see from the end. It's a TV, a fake TV.
What's going on? I haven't got a clue.
Well,
Pardon?
you've lost me.
What's going on?
Fake TV?
Yeah.
No, it's not. It looks like a radio.
But from outside the window, it definitely looks like a TV. We've done tests on it, and it looks like there's somebody in the building.
Is that supposed to project an image to a wall?
It does. It projects from outside a room. Actually, do you know what? That's my mistake. That's going to absorb it, isn't it? The white's going to reflect it. Sorry. Now, that was the noise I didn't want to come up. It's totally random. There's lots of different sounds. I don't even want thieves coming up my drive. I want them to drive past my house, look at the window and think there's somebody in there. And these are the really, really simple ones that I'm going to get the revenue from in October straight away to get the company's feet. And so then we can go, I can look at the really technical stuff.
Samantha, can I have a look at that while you...
Which one? This one?
No, the other
The one in the box. The one in the box?
Yes.
Samantha Gore might need £275,000 to develop and market her security device prototypes, but her disorganised pitch has caused widespread confusion amongst the multi-millionaire investors. Can Deborah Meaden make sense of it all?
Hello, Samantha.
Hello.
I'm Deborah.
Hi, Deborah.
I'm afraid that was one of the worst pitches that I've ever heard.
I'm
I'm going
really
to
sorry,
forgive
right.
you for your nerves. You are obviously incredibly nervous.
Yes.
Now, you have developed something that says that if somebody steals something of yours, it will actually not work.
Yeah, that's that one.
How does that work?
That stops the... If someone rips out a car stereo and they take it to the pub, they can't sell it because it'll have the logo branded on it. So that cuts out the demand.
What does that do then?
I still don't understand
like a
what
device.
that does. Samantha, I am trying so hard to understand what this is, but you're making it very confusing.
I know. It is
You
really
take a
technical.
radio, somebody steals the radio.
Yes.
What happens to that radio?
The radio doesn't work.
How does it damage the radio?
It blows a couple of transistors.
I say until you put 2 transistors
Yes.
back in, why can't the person who steals do that?
They could, but the car stereos go for £10 in the pub. They're not going to pay £10 and then pay £25 having it repaired.
Passionate about her inventions she may be, but Samantha's lack of lucidity means the dragons are having to extract even the most basic details about her embryonic business.
You're talking about 5 products to launch.
Yes.
5 products.
Yes.
Okay. There's 3 here.
Yeah.
What are the other 2 products?
Right, the other thing that I've developed on the back of that, thinking if somebody comes up to your window, you're going to need some curtain closers. Now, the ones that are available at the moment, the auto glide
Yep.
ones.
So curtain, what's the 5th one?
Now, the 5th product, now the other, I will definitely...
Tell me the 5th product.
Sorry.
Tell me the 5th product.
The 5th product, when I've been doing my research, £1 billion worth of lamps are sold in this country, and I believe having a dual function of something, it makes it a much greater appeal.
Tell me the 5th product.
It would be a lamp with those functions.
Samantha is asking the dragons for £275,000 in exchange for 10% of her company. But her frantic nerves are even unsettling a normally calm James Caan.
Do you need to go to the loo, Sam?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's adrenaline. I have this reaction to adrenaline.
You're making me nervous
I'm
now.
sorry,
and I
I'm
was really
sorry.
relaxed.
I'm sorry.
I'm watching you and I'm sweating.
Honestly, I'm not nervous. I'm just excited. It's a brilliant opportunity, isn't it? So.
Okay, £2.5 million. How did you come up with this valuation?
It was just what... If someone came in and said, right, I've got all your ideas that you're planning to have for the rest of your life, and this is the amount, it was what I would sell it for, and find out
What are you going to do with
features
my
are
money,
better
Sam?
selling. With your money, I will get all the stock, the initial stocks, and I will get all the IP up to date, because, I mean, electronics, there's different ways of protecting electronics within the software, and, you know... And
Sam, you've got to learn to give quicker answers.
my friends kept telling me that, keep it simple, keep it simple, keep it simple. Right, so licensing, but main thing is...
Sorry, Sam, you know, if I was working with you, you would drive me mad. I can't get the product, I definitely didn't get you, and regrettably, Sam, for those reasons, I'm out.
Okay.
Samantha's chaotic pitch has pushed James Caan away from any deal. Will Theo Paphitis spot enough potential in the inventor to be tempted to invest?
What's your background?
I've got pharmacology and physiology degree background, so the biosciences, and I also did business studies and economics. I've travelled 2/3 of the countries in the world looking for ideas and inspiration, and then I started my first real business, so I opened a Japanese restaurant. Sorry, Peter, you closed down.
Oh, no, no.
Go on. Where was the restaurant?
In central Manchester, next to Valentine's.
You own that?
Yes,
On your own?
yes.
So how much does that give you a year?
It gives me whatever I need. If I want to pull 70,000, 100,000 out, I can, but I don't tend to do that.
Have you got someone running for you? So you've got a very successful restaurant.
Yes.
And that's what you've been doing for the last 10 years?
I wrote a couple of books that got 5 out of 5 on Amazon. I had a couple of children in that time. I've invested in other people, helped them set up business, and really I've got pulled off my track through helping other business startups. And this is, I want to be doing electronics. You know, that's what I really get excited about, and I've been sidetracked.
When do your batteries run out?
My batteries, about 4 o'clock in the morning, on a Sunday.
The Dragons seem both surprised and impressed by Samantha's entrepreneurial track record. But are they impressed enough to back her with £275,000 of their own cash?
Sam, I'll tell you exactly where I am. I think you're a very, very intelligent woman. And your issue is that you're probably 10 times more intelligent than me, which would always cause me a problem. But joking aside, I think that you'd be all over the place. You're a scattergun approach, and what you've brought in front of us today, I can't see a real business turning out. And for those reasons, that's why I'm not going to invest and I'm out.
Okay.
Samantha, I'll tell you why I think you're an enigma. I just don't believe. You're obviously academically brilliant. You're successful in business already. You have some great ideas. I would have loved to back you, but you're unfocused.
I was hoping that I might learn that from you.
Yeah, unfortunately, you've come in with the wrong pitch.
Okay.
So I'm out.
Okay.
Sam, like everyone else, you know, I just don't know whether you're completely bonkers or a complete utter genius. I know your restaurant in Manchester very well. I've been in it a couple of times. It's fantastic. If you ever fancy selling it to finance this business, let me know. But apart from that, I'm sorry, I can't invest in this, and so I'm out.
Okay.
4 Dragons out, and Samantha's expulsion from the den seems imminent. Only Deborah Meaden can now throw her the lifeline she so badly needs.
Sam, how did you prepare for your pitch today?
I practiced many, many times.
And how do you think it's turned out?
Clearly not very well.
Yeah, I think your brain works so fast that it's not coming out of your mouth before you've actually moved on to the next topic. On the other hand, you're running a very successful business. I've got an underlying feeling that you are probably brilliant, but you have given me no way to invest in you. I'm sorry about that, because I could be missing the biggest thing. So I'm afraid I'm out.
Okay.
That way.
Which way now?
It's a disappointing end for everyone. Samantha's speedy departure proves the den can unnerve even the most experienced entrepreneur. The Dragons never know who or what is about to appear before them in the den. Robert Reed, Brian Rawlings and skater Andy Critchlow wanted £150,000 to market their booster blades, a new take on roller skates, where you half pedal, half skate for maximum propulsion.
I can best describe booster blades as a cross between a pair of skates and a bike. It's a completely different type of exercise to skating.
Deborah Meaden was immediately sceptical.
I find them unnerving and cumbersome to watch. That is really odd.
There's a learning curve, like anything, and I think once you've mastered it.
Theo Paphitis was keen to try out the blades for himself.
What size are those?
These are a size 8.5. Do you want to go?
I'll have a go, yeah.
Theo, can I ask if you've inline skated before, or...?
No.
It's,
well, it should be interesting.
Is the first aid box ready?
Theo, do you know what?
What?
I would enjoy it while it lasts. It's the tallest you've ever been in your life.
You know, I'm going to go back to my chair while I'm safe.
But the company's finances didn't receive a boost from the Dragons.
I would absolutely stop what you're doing. Don't put any more money into this.
I'm left with no alternative but to say I'm not going to invest.
If I was you, Brian, I'd stick to a day job and not go around inventing things.
And in the end, Theo Paphitis' verdict was damning.
Do you remember the Sinclair C5? that was going to revolutionise personal transport. It had more of a chance.
I'm out.
Clive Billing from Gloucestershire's up next. He's been dazzling his clients in the jewellery trade for 40 years, but he thinks he's spotted a gap in the market that'll make his fortune, if he can persuade a dragon to invest £255,000.
Hello. Before I start, I'd really like to say what a pleasure it is to meet you all. I only hope that pleasure remains after my pitch. My name is Clive, 40 years in the diamond business, and I'm the founder, creator and developer of diamondgeezer.com. A typical product of Diamond Geezer would be a £2,500 diamond engagement ring. We are one of the UK's leading online jewellers. I'm here because that part of the market, which we call click and buy, is a new a part of the market for us, and possibly 50 times greater than what we're already doing. We call it click and buy because literally the statistics show you an internet shopper is prepared to spend over £100 on a click and buy purchase. It's an impulse buy, and research shows us that the average person in the UK will actually buy 52 items of jewellery in their lifetime. So what we need to do is we need to introduce a range of products between £25 and £500. We're looking for £255,000 for 15%. Thank you for your time. I've got 1,000 answers for your questions and a million other things I'd like to tell you about our exciting business. Thank you.
Diamond geezer Clive Billing has asked the Dragons for £255,000. He wants to develop his existing upmarket online jewellery business into new areas and to attract more mass-market impulse sales. However, Deborah Meaden believes Clive has broken one of the fundamental rules of the den.
Clive, I'm in a bit of an awkward position here, aren't I?
Why is that, Deborah? Am I missing something?
Were you asked the question, have you been in contact with the Dragons?
We were certainly asked the question, have you had any communication with the Dragons? Yes.
OK, well, I've got an email from you. I've got your details of your website, and I've got your details and an outline of your business, and you have had an email in response from me saying, thank you very much, I've looked at and evaluated your business. It's not the type of business that I'm seeking to invest in.
I'm not aware of that email. Not aware of it. At all.
Well, it definitely went out because I sat down at the end of last week and went through all of the ones to make sure what was cleared up.
I'm not doubting.
So it's left me in a very, very difficult situation.
I understand.
And I think, to be fair to all parties, obviously I need to be absolutely upfront about that and declare that clearly I'm out.
It's a bombshell. Strict rules of the den state that entrepreneurs must have had no prior communication with the Dragons before they walk up the stairs. Duncan Bannatyne is not about to make Clive's life any more comfortable.
You're looking for an investment in a company called diamondgeezer.com Limited?
It's actually Gemnet Solutions Limited. Diamondgeezer.com is a registered brand.
OK, does Gemnet Solutions Limited own diamondgeezer.com?
Yes. I would like you to be part of Gemnet Solutions.
And where are you running this online jewellery business from?
From a commercial premises in Bolton-on-the-Water, which I own.
And that belongs to Gemnet Solutions Limited?
It actually belongs to me.
Oh, it doesn't belong to Gemnet Solutions Limited?
But could belong to Gemnet Solutions.
So you would transfer it straight in?
I would have no problem talking about that at all. None.
OK. So what did your company turn over in its last year of trading?
1.6 million.
What profit did it make?
The gross profit was 39%.
No. In pounds, how much profit did it make before tax at the bottom of its profit and loss?
2%.
No. In pounds, how much profit did it make before tax?
In pounds?
Pounds, shillings and pence.
£3,243.
Now, you've been 40 years in the diamond business, and in the last year you made £3,243.
I see where you're coming from. I haven't spent 40 years selling diamonds on the internet.
What is the most common purchase?
I'm sorry, on the internet or on
the internet. I'm on the internet. We're on the internet. We haven't got a shop. You're not in a shop. You're on the internet. On the internet, what is the most common item purchased?
CD.
CD.
You want to know about diamonds. Our most common item is a £2,500 diamond engagement ring.
Oh, the answer to my question was engagement rings.
Yes.
Okay? And that was a very simple answer. It's not CDs, it's not something else, I'm not sure. It's a very simple answer. I just wanted to see if you knew the answer.
Forgive me, I was taking you actually literally, and you said, what's the most common product sold on the internet?
I have to tell you something. When you came on, you said it was a pleasure to meet us all. I have to tell you, the pleasure is all yours. I'm out.
2 early clashes, 2 dragons out. A shell-shocked Clive will have to work hard to get his hopes of securing £255,000 of investment back on track. Theo Paphitis takes up the interrogation.
Hello, I'm Theo.
I know you are, Theo.
What's your background?
40 years in the diamond business, 20 years with the internet. I sent my first email in 1986 and took my first digital photograph in 1989.
So you really started early, you're a really early adopter.
Really early. Really early, when it was just a black hole.
So, on the basis that that was a great time for everybody to start, why aren't you in some Caribbean island? With your own island, obviously. You're in the background.
Because I didn't listen to my dad when he said, be second and be better. I'm a pioneer, I've got the arrows in my backs to prove it. I was too early, and in 1993, you couldn't actually convince anybody in the jewellery trade that it was anything but a fad. And it cost me £1 million, and I don't regret it, at all.
Did any of your original companies fold, or is it still the same company?
Still the same company, established in 1992.
Right, I got one more question for you. Who is the #1 reseller of diamonds on the web today?
BlueNile.com.
Turnover?
$330 million.
Clive's grabbed the attention of the dragons by revealing the potential of the online market. Now, Peter Jones wants to scrutinise the company's branding.
The website.
Yes.
I think you have a potential issue with diamondgeezer.com. You know, I understand the slang, you know, a bit of a geezer, you know, and I'm moving sort of side to side when I do it.
I've had those thoughts myself, of course I have. And I resolved myself by remembering that it is very, very memorable. It doesn't require spelling, which is great for a radio advertising, and it has caught the public's imagination. With 10,000 index pages on Google and 300,000 references to it, love or hate it, you will remember it.
If I now search for diamond,
Yeah.
I type in diamond,
Yeah.
at what page do you turn up on Google?
We're on page 12. We're on position 12, which is page 2 yesterday, for diamond. It's not our strongest word, incidentally.
What's your strongest word?
Diamond engagement ring.
And where did you come up with that?
We're on 9th position yesterday.
So second page again.
First page.
Top 10.
Yes.
The atmosphere in the den has shifted. Now, the dragons want some quick answers to some very detailed financial questions.
What's your forecast for April 08 to April 09? 3.5 million. And what profit does that make? 458,000.
And the balance sheet, what does it show? How much money do you owe?
£147,000 and £152,000 overdraft and guaranteed loan.
That's nearly 300.
But you own a pre-owned property. Own a pre-owned property. We've got £250,000 worth of stock. So the pre-owned property's worth 456,000. And what's the debt on that? The debt on that is 92.
The dragon's ruthless cross-examination has exposed the strengths and weaknesses of Clive's current business. On the plus side, his assets include a valuable holding of stock, and his healthy profit projections sound plausible. However, the business does have substantial debts, which will eat into the profits left for an investor. James Caan thinks he's come up with a shrewd tactic to reduce the potential risk to a dragon.
Can we assume that if we are going to make an offer, that the freehold property is contained in the business? I think we can assume that for purpose of conversation, yes. Okay. If I offset the stock in the business of £250,000, yes, and the freehold value, we could be looking at a balance sheet that actually has a positive value in excess of £300,000-400,000. Yes. You said you'd invested a lot of money in the business.
Yes.
Have you invested that money through you personally putting a loan into the company?
In the limited company, you'll see a £100,000 cash investment for me last year.
Am I assuming now an additional 100 grand liability that you didn't mention earlier? Or are you saying we're going to write that off?
I'm happy to consider writing that off.
I like what you do. I like the model. I think it's quite clear that if one of us was involved, we could certainly help you to take this into where it should be, because you should be making more than 3 grand a year.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do, Clive, I can either offer you half the money for 20% of the equity, or I'm quite happy to split it 3 ways. But I think the overall package of equity we would need would be 40%.
It's an astonishing turnaround for Clive. James Caan has offered him half the money, but for a 20% stake in the business. Den rules dictate that Clive must secure an offer for the full £255,000 he's asking for. He'll still leave with nothing unless Theo Paphitis or Peter Jones are prepared to make up the rest.
Clive, let me help you here.
Please.
I think James has been very generous. Very generous. So I'm going to join him in his generosity, and I'll offer you the other half. But I too will want 20%.
Clive now has a full offer on the table, but Peter Jones has years of experience in web-based ventures. Will he now enter the fray and bid against his rivals?
Right, Clive. I think I can add some value on the online development of this. So I think I'd like to offer up and split it with the Dragons at the same percentage.
I suppose if I had somebody with me, I'd ask if I could go to the back of the room now.
Clive,
Yeah.
do yourself a favour. Go to the back of the room. Go on.
Thank you, Dan.
Clive is now weighing up the highest offer ever in the den. However, the 3 Dragons want 40% of the business he's built up for the last 20 years.
I'm uncomfortable with 40% because, of course, I came in for much less, and that's a huge jump. You're also asking me to tip in a building with my business loan written off. That's quite a high price to pay. So I guess I'm going to say, if you come in at 10% each, 30% overall, we've got a deal. Otherwise, we're a family firm.
Clive, 40% of a business that just posted results of £3,200, is where you are. So, it's your call. My gut feeling is, if you walk away today, another big mistake in Clive's CV.
Guys, I think it's got to be 30%, or we're not going to be in business.
Good luck, Clive.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Good luck.
Cheers, Clive.
It's not often that people say no to the Dragons. They're stunned as Clive turns his back on £255,000 of investment from 3 experienced multimillionaires. Clive, I think that was the biggest offer that's ever been made, and you've turned it down.
Rightly.
James said this is another £1 million mistake, more arrows in the back. You don't think so?
No.
Anyway, you've no regrets. You leave now. You think you can still pursue the business with Plan A
Absolutely.
and talk to other investors.
Indeed.
We'll see how you get on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Entrepreneurs are always keen to make an impact on the Dragons. Paul Hartley and Annette Denby came into the den with their dog Olive, asking for £20,000 for a 10% share of their Greet Me, Eat Me pet accessory.
We have designed and manufactured an edible greetings card for dogs. Inside each card there are 4 slits to allow a paper note to be attached for a greetings message, and it also comes with an envelope to allow it to be sent through the post. Therefore the card works as a greetings message and also a gift for the dog.
Peter Jones immediately thought they were barking mad.
I can't believe that people go out and buy cards and write little messages in, and I've got a dog. I know it happens, but I'm not going to spend my life socialising with those people, to be honest. It worries me, so I'm out.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for your feedback.
Deborah Meaden had a confession to make.
My cats, my dogs, my horses, my everything, they get Christmas presents. I'm as stupid as it sounds, they get them. So I get the market, and it's huge.
But in the end, head always rules heart with these dragons.
I'm looking for a more substantial investment, and I haven't got the time just to have fun. I wish you all the best, but I'm out.
Thank you very much.
That was cringeworthy.
Managing Director Jeremy Whittercase from Dorset walked up the stairs as his purple-haired alter ego, Professor Putty, in order to obtain £75,000 for 15% of his company, Impact Items Limited.
The product I'm about to show you is called Space Putty. If you make something with Space Putty, it'll go shiny on its own and hold that shape for as long as you want. If you pull Space Putty slowly, it will stretch. If you pull it fast, it snaps. Space Putty also bounces.
Theo Paphitis was puzzled as to the putty's uses.
What am I going to do with it?
If you've got a task in hand and you want to concentrate, just playing with this product in your left hand while you're working with your right hand will increase your attention.
But after a short attempt to relieve his stress, James Caan was less than impressed with the professor's product.
A very professional sort of guy, and you're standing in front of me looking for 75 grand for me to invest in this. Are you for real?
It was left to Duncan Bannatyne to put an end to the pitch.
You know, I don't think it's Professor Putty, I think it's Professor Putty. You're going to have to go through a terrible situation over the coming years. Eventually, you look back in this day and laugh. This is not a business, it's crazy. I'm not going to invest, I'm out.
Okay.
So far tonight, the den has been an investment-free zone. Will any of these hopeful entrepreneurs persuade the dragons to back them?
Why are you here?
This is something that's so risky.
Do you know what I'm going to say now?
I don't want you to, but I'm ready.
30-year-old Richard Meyer once worked as a magician, but now he has a business proposal he thinks may enchant the dragons. He's hoping they'll invest £150,000, and remember, it's their own money he's after.
Hello, my name's Richard Meyer and I'm looking for an investment of £150,000 for 15% of my new business, Carbon 6. Carbon 6 holds the UK distribution rights for a brand new and patented product called the Screen Machine. It's a product that actually enables parents to take back control of the increasing amount of time children are nowadays spending sat in front of a TV screen or playing computer games every day. Let me show you how it works. The Screen Machine connects in between any TV and its media inputs, like an aerial cable, DVD player or a games console, and it enables parents to block all picture signals getting from here over to the screen. Now, the way in which the children get access to the screen is by using one of these. This is a time token, and to the children it's worth 30 minutes of screen time. Now, as a family, you get to decide how many tokens the children get over a week or a daily basis. The children insert the token, 30 minutes registers, and the screen releases. And the children can add more tokens to increase more time. But there's also a special pause button, and this enables parents to encourage their children to actually break up their TV viewing with other more worthwhile activities. Now, the use of the tokens for the children means that they learn a value for their time, and they learn how to manage it. And for the parents, it means you can use the tokens as part of a reward-based behavioural system. I'd like to thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Richard Meyer already runs one successful company sourcing and distributing toys, and has now made a confident pitch to the Dragons for £150,000 of investment in his brand new business. But father of 6, Duncan Bannatyne, looks troubled by the screen time limiter.
Richard, do you have any children?
I don't have children, but I work with children every day of my career.
As a parent, I've got a method of controlling how much television my children watch and how much time they spend on a computer.
Yeah.
It's a very simple method. I say, switch that bloody television off and get outside and play. Or switch that television off and come and have your dinner. And you know, it works.
I know. Parenting control. The screen machine is not about taking away your parenting control. In fact, it's about actually using it, but in a way that enhances it.
But it doesn't. Because if a child wants to watch more television, the child says, I want to watch television. And the parent has to control that.
Yes.
If you put that device in, the child says, I want another token. So the parent has the same problem that they had when they told the child they can't watch any more television. They have to deal with that interface with the child.
But by actually, over a period of time, the children actually learn their own rules, their own ideas on TV usage. So it actually restricts, it not restricts, but it actually helps them make their own decisions on their TV usage to ultimately make it so it's the child that's deciding to spend less time in front of the screen.
Richard, it sounds very, very sad to me.
Richard has found himself on the receiving end of Duncan Bannatyne's disdain. Will father of 5, Peter Jones, have any words of encouragement?
Richard, I don't think it's a bad idea.
Okay, thank you.
I think it's a ridiculously stupid, crazy idea. What do you do? How did you get to this product? What have you done in your previous life?
I source products for the toy industry. We run in-store demonstrations.
Tell me about something you sourced successfully and sold into the market and made money from.
Every single product that we've brought in.
What have you generated in sales in the last year?
The turnover of my business in 2007-2008, the RDM Creations business, turned over £750,000.
And how much profit did you make?
Net profit on that is £300,000.
So you've made £300,000 net profit and you're offering 115% of that business for 150k?
It's a separate business. RDM Creations is a separate business.
Who owns it? Who owns it?
RDM Creations?
Yeah.
Me.
Get out of here. Go away.
Get down the bloody
Get out the stairs.
Crazy.
Go away.
Richard's shock revelation has caused uproar in the den.
Richard, what are you doing here?
The Dragons are always infuriated by entrepreneurs asking them to take the bulk of the financial risk when they have the funds to underwrite themselves.
Why are you here?
I'm here because to have your mentoring and your advice and also the funding to go to volume production
You've had
and take
it.
it to
Get
the high
out.
streets.
Eventually, Duncan Bannatyne asks the question all the angry Dragons want the answer to.
Why don't you put this into your company that's turning over £750,000 a year and making a profit of 300? Why don't you put this into that company?
Because I actually believe the product has more of a potential as a high street and make. Retailer, whereas my expertise is the shopping channel.
Can I tell you why you wouldn't do that? Because you know it's a crazy idea.
Richard has managed to unite the rival Dragons in fury. James Caan is not going to let him off the hook.
How much have you personally invested in this project, cash-wise?
Up till now?
Yes.
It's about £2,500. But I'm willing to put an investment into the business.
Just so I understand, just because it's an interesting dialogue here. This is such an amazing idea. It's an amazing product that you want to put £2,500 for 85%, and I'm going to put in 150 grand for 15%.
I'm putting £50,000 into the business myself. But that, you asked me what I'd spent so far. And in terms of getting the product to the position where it is now, that is how much it would cost.
Okay. I'm obviously a bit disappointed that you think that we're that stupid, really, on a product. No, well, let me hear me out. You're standing in front of me. You've got a £2,500 exposure on an idea that you think is going to be a blockbuster.
Yes.
But you don't have the confidence of putting up the balance of the money. I'm out.
Richard's attempts to explain his position have fallen on deaf ears as a normally unruffled James Caan declares himself out. The rest of the dragons aren't about to pull any punches either.
Richard, this is ridiculous, and you want to be a bit of mentoring?
Yes.
Give up and get out. I'm out.
Okay.
Richard, this is an opportunity that Baldrick would come up with. For me, it's not a cunning plan. I'm out.
I think you stand there completely puzzled as to why you're getting this response. And I can tell you why you're getting this response. Because investors are looking not just at a product and a person, they're looking at a reason for an investment. The trouble is, your story isn't hanging together. You've got a business over here that's got all the skills to take that to market.
Yep.
And it's producing £300,000 a year in profit.
But what I'm asking, I believe this product is a high street product, a major retailer. I don't have the expertise.
You're very good, you've got your message across. Your problem is, I still don't understand why you're not running that in your own existing business. You know, you're sending me the signals that I should be concerned, therefore I am concerned. So, for that reason, I'm out.
The dragon's scorn for Richard is palpable. And there's worse yet to come.
Richard, quite often on Dragon's Den I see people with the product and we think the business isn't worthy of investment, but the product is worthy of buying, and I think, well, I'll buy the product. But this one, I wouldn't buy, I wouldn't touch. And sometimes I say to people, we're not going to invest, but I wish you all the best success. I wish you absolute failure on this. I hope it doesn't take off. I hope people don't buy it. I think it's ridiculous, and I hope it fails. So I'm out.
Okay.
Thank you, Richard. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's been a stormy session for Richard Meyer, who leaves with harsh words ringing in his ears, but no investment.
Yeah,
Richard.
Didn't quite go as well as planned.
No. Now, if you were a dragon,
yeah,
do you think you would have invested in it?
I believe I honestly would. I can see the benefits of that product, customers want it, but on the high street, I don't have an expertise, and that's where I was looking for investment just as much in terms of their knowledge and their help, as well as in their investment.
We'll see how you get on.
Okay, thank you very much.
Other entrepreneurs who tried and failed in the den included Gloucestershire husband and wife team, Jeremy and Alexia Benson, who needed £150,000 of investment to expand their healthy apple juice ice lolly business.
A Chili Billy is the first and only ice lolly on the market that's made from 100% pure fruit. It has no added sugars or preservatives.
They're healthy, delicious, and contribute to your 5 a day.
We supply Tate Galleries, National Trust properties and Nando's restaurants nationwide. Would anyone like a Chili Billy?
Oh, yes, please.
The dragons warmed to the Chili Billy, but Peter Jones thought it was too good to be true.
The pitch was great, the business sounds fantastic. There's got to be something wrong, because you want money. What were the numbers?
Last year, net profit was about 6,000.
So there lies the issue.
The sector's low profit margins meant former ice cream seller Duncan Bannatyne made a quick exit.
Your cost of production is far, far, far too high. You can't compete. So for that reason, I'm not going to invest, so I'm out.
Okay.
Thank you. And in the end, the couple were frozen out by Theopophetis.
We feel we could sort of take along the innocence line, be the first to market.
The graveyard's full of innocent wannabes.
We've got such passion and belief that we really...
I'm sure you have, and so did they. And that's how they've ended up in a graveyard. So because of that, I'm afraid I'm out as well.
London-based mum, Amanda Ishaka Adikwo, wanted £90,000 to market her patented safety lit-up car sign, an in-car baby on board sign with built-in illumination.
You press all three suction cups firmly to the windscreen, press the monkey nose, and it displays the word baby on board.
Peter Jones was dubious about the concept of the product.
Does that mean then that people are just crazy in their cars and because they see a baby on board sign, that's it, it's, oh, hang on a minute, I better drive really slowly?
Well, yes.
If I see a baby on board, I keep a further distance away from that car.
Since when have you ever driven a car in the last 20 years?
It's a good point, actually. Well, I tell my shopper.
But Deborah Meaden was concerned about Amanda's execution of the idea.
During the day, it's visible without the light. And when it gets dark...
Amanda, I don't agree with that. I think that, on the back of a driving vehicle, white on cream, there's not a redeeming feature for me, I'm afraid. I'm out.
Fashion-related businesses have had mixed fortunes in the den. So which way will it go for our next entrepreneur, 28-year-old Victoria McGrain?
Hi, my name is Victoria McGrain and I'm here today to offer you 20% of my company Neurotica in exchange for a £56,000 investment. Neurotica is a unique, concept-driven women's wear fashion label specialising in original hand-printed textiles. I've been in business for just over a year. I'm currently developing a diffusion line called Neurotica White Label, which will be a higher volume, more commercial version of the mainline collection, yet still retain the unique brand identity and signature aesthetic of Neurotica. I have recently had a meeting with the concessions buyer for one of the UK's leading fashion high street retailers, who is interested in launching the diffusion line in their flagship Oxford Street store. I've also met with the representative of the UK's fastest online fashion retailer, and they have also expressed a huge amount of interest. I would now like to show you some of my designs. They're pieces from my most recent collection. It's entitled Short Fiction, and it's the Autumn-Winter collection. Thank you. Thank you.
Very good.
It's an eye-catching pitch from 28-year-old fashion designer Victoria McGrain. With her couture range already in the shops, she's now looking for £56,000 to help launch her higher volume diffusion range of clothing. First up, Deborah Meaden.
Hello, Victoria.
Hello.
I'm Deborah. What shops are you actually currently selling in?
At the moment, I'm selling at a shop in LA called Curve. I'm also selling at another shop in LA called Pixie Market, and also online at Pixie Market, which is all of America.
Anything in the UK?
In the UK, I have 2 shops. One is just off Carnaby Street, specialises in young designers, and the other one is on Brick Lane. And then in Japan, I've just secured 2 new stockists, one in Tokyo, in La Forêt Harajuku, which is really like the best sort of place to be in Tokyo, and another one in Sendai.
You're very specific over your £56,000,
Yes.
not 50,000, not 60,000,
Yes.
exactly £56,000.
Yes.
What do you need the money for?
What I need the money for, I didn't want to ask for more than I needed because I've been running this label on a really tight budget, so I know exactly how much money I spend on everything I spend the money on. And I really looked into it and I researched and I was like, right, I want a PR company and I want to get representation from a company that has labels.
So how much money are you going to spend on PR?
I worked out it was between £600 and £700 a month, so I put a whole PR marketing budget of £12,000. And the other things, I would like to hire a member of staff. At the moment, I have lots of interns that come and work for me for free, which is fantastic. But I almost need somebody to coordinate the intern.
Keep going.
I wanted about £10,000 for working capital, just so when I launch the diffusion line, I can be really reactive to the market. And the other thing I asked for was money for trade shows. And then the last thing is studio costs as well.
Deborah Meaden seems impressed by Victoria's precise approach to investment. However, Peter Jones thinks he spotted an immediate flaw.
And a little bit shocked about the small amount of money you're asking for. My visualisation of this market is that you need to put a lot of money into it to actually get these products out there, not just from a marketing and PR perspective, but to do these events. Can you explain why? Because I'm worried that you get £56,000, it will just go very, very quickly, especially on travel.
Yeah.
Travelling all over the world can't be cheap.
I think I have done a full budget. The reason I've only asked for that much is because with the opportunities that have been offered to me with the diffusion line and the expansion, cash flow will be established within 10 days. The sales are quite high.
You mentioned somebody in the UK. You said a flagship Oxford Street store.
I've got letters of intent and outlining what the potential sales could be, the fact that we've had a meeting, but the diffusion line is still under development. But I think it would be unprofessional.
Victoria is still holding her own in the den. Retail guru Theo Paphitis is next.
Victoria, hi, I'm Theo.
Hi, Theo.
Fashion, know a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Give me your vision of your brand and the strategy and the space that you're going to occupy.
I really look towards, you know, a luxury high-end label where I have a mainline collection.
Price
which
range?
Is, pardon me?
Retail price range?
Resale price range, you know, between £100 and £250. But I think it could go higher, so I'd like to bring the price range up and go into doing cocktail dresses and ball gowns and things like that. Whereas with the diffusion line, I would take the pieces that I do that are, I hate to use the word cheaper, but, you know, they're pieces like T-shirts, vest dresses, you know, things like that, and sell that, you know, at a retail price point between 45 and 75.
What, you're going to occupy both spaces?
I really think I can. I really think that's a model that a lot of people have used. If you look at people like Vivienne Westwood, she has a mainline collection and her diffusion line.
Victoria's vision and drive have impressed Theo Paphitis. However, James Caan wants to interrogate her on the state of her company's finances.
Hi, Victoria.
Hi,
I'm James. What have you generated on this particular... range so far?
£5,500.
Okay. And what margin have you made on that?
The making costs are around 2,280.
Okay. And net after all your costs on that range would be how much?
I think this is where I'm going to come unstuck because It's partly because with fashion, sales are seasonal, so they're every 6 months. So part of
what
that's for the full
season?
month.
What's the last season that's just finished?
Autumn winter is the collection I've just sold, and it hasn't gone into shops yet. My summer collection has gone into shops.
So on your summer collection, what did you generate?
That's a really bad one to base it on, because I designed a collection that was so difficult to produce, I decided to not offer it for sale because it would have cost me too much money.
OK, let me try another one, Victoria.
Yep.
What about the whole of last year?
The whole of
So
last
January
year.
to December last year, that whole 12-month period,
Yeah.
if I looked at your purchase orders and your invoices and your cash in,
Yeah.
what number would I come up with
It would have been about £11,000.
for the year?
Yeah.
What did that convert to profit?
To profit, I think I just about broke even.
Victoria may have charmed the dragons initially, but Duncan Bannatyne has been studying her letters of intent. Cash flow is a particular issue for all high street fashion names. So has Victoria factored this into her business plan?
Victoria, when you were asked what you're going to do with the 56,000, I don't think you mentioned stock, did you?
I think that's what my working capital will be used to produce.
£10,000. Well, let's look at the example of that dress second from the end.
Yeah.
What would it cost you to make that?
This item would cost me around £40 to make, as it is now.
Right. And what would it retail at?
At 75. It would retail at around £195.
So, and if you get this shop concession, they're going to take 35% commission. But they want quite a lot of stock, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
100 pieces per style.
Yeah.
How many styles?
I am doing 6 styles to the initial launch.
You can't do that with £10,000, can you?
Yeah, I've costed it, and I've costed
600 pieces?
Yes.
My figures say it isn't. This is something that's so risky. So, although I wish you the best of luck, I'm going to declare myself and I'm out.
This is a serious setback for Victoria. Deborah Meaden initially seemed impressed by the young designer. Will she now back those first impressions with an offer?
Victoria, I need to tell you why I think you've actually got more than a creative head on your shoulders. You know, you're obviously going out, you're trying to sell your product, you're doing something about it, because a lot of creative people just sit there and expect someone else to do it for them. My biggest worry is the 56,000.
Really?
I just don't think this will touch the sides. So, and I don't want to mislead you. So, I'm out.
Okay, I understand. Any other questions from anyone?
Victoria, I'd love to make an offer, I really would. But this sounds like a business. Right now, really, it's big enough for you. It was hard last year.
Yeah.
It feels like it's going to be tough again this year.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'd like you to make money too. You know, it's got to be a return for both sides.
I know, but I'm honestly, genuinely so passionate about this business. I'm so happy just to be doing it. It might sound crazy to you, like I live on no money, but because I'm doing this and I'm making it happen, and I'm, you know, it sounds really cheesy, but it's my dream.
I'm just not convinced that it will be a mind-blowing business investment. And as I come here every day to make investments to make a return, regrettably, this isn't one that's just...
Empty room, filled it up, talk is cheap, listen up, I don't know where we went wrong, but I feel I'm shaking these walls, yeah, nothing safe, gotta take cover, still of love, we just make glitter, running and running, yeah, we got off track, now we under attack.
Captured my imagination. I'm out.
Only Theo Paphitis and Peter Jones now stand between Victoria and expulsion from the den. Will they share their rivals' concerns?
Peter, do you want to go?
You can.
I can't, because if I do, I'm going to say I'm out.
Can I have one more opportunity to just speak?
Well, I'm not sure there's much more you can tell me.
Okay.
Yeah, Victoria, I think that you're going to need a huge, much more amount of money to make this business work. I admire what you've done. I think you've pitched really well. I know you've worked your business on a shoestring, but actually there's only so long you can keep going, and you have proved, even with your projections, that you, even without paying yourself anything, you're still not making any money. So is this an investment or an investable business? It isn't, for the money that you've asked for. So you know what I'm going to say now?
Yes, I don't want you to, but I'm ready.
For that reason, I'm going to make you an offer for more money than you've asked for. I'm going to offer you £75,000. But I want 35% of the company.
It's a den first. Peter Jones has stunned Victoria and his rival dragons by making her an upfront offer greater even than her original request. Will Theo Paphitis be willing to compete?
Peter has just taken an emotional dilemma right out of my hands, and I've got to say, I think it's an incredibly generous offer.
It is.
I'm out, but you've got an offer from Peter.
I would like
Fantastic.
to accept your offer. Thank you.
accepting the offer?
I accept your offer, Peter. Thank you so much.
Well done.
Victoria has done it. She's given away more of her business than initially intended, but walks away with more money and a powerful dragon partner in Peter Jones. With the den transformed into a catwalk, it's been another unpredictable day, to say the least. Thanks to Peter Jones, Victoria McGrane's fashion dreams may become a reality. To find out more about Victoria's time in the den, or to see what draws the dragons to an investment, go to bbc.co.uk/dragonsden. Goodbye. Next time on Dragon's Den. Find out which entrepreneur falls into Theo Paphitis' firing line.
You've insulted my intelligence to the level which I'm seething with rage.
And who gets short shrift from Duncan Bannatyne.
I never had such rubbish in my life. I'm out.
And the Diamond Geezer talks about why he turned down that Dragon's Den on 5 Live now. Listen on digital TV, digital radio and online at the 5 Live website. Would Jimmy Carr and Richard Wilson lie to you? Find out next here on BBC Two.